God bless everyone, welcome to Firearms of America. In this video I'm going to show you how to zero your optic. And I know there's a lot of content on the internet, but for me to figure this out I had to bother my buddy quite a lot. So he helped me out to finally understand what it means to zero an optic. So hopefully this video will be helpful for you as well. So in order to begin, I'm going to assume already that you have your optic mounted properly on the firearm. And when I say properly, I mean leveled, and also the eye relief. So you have eye relief set up correctly and the optic leveled. For the purposes of zeroing your optic, whether you're doing a rifle scope or a red dot, the ideal distance that, and I'll explain later in the video why it is the ideal distance, is you want your target 50 meters. And I do have the target set up all the way there, and it is pretty much exactly 50 meters. I do have the rangefinder here, which is built into the scope from one leaf that I use as a rangefinder. And what you want to do is you want to draw, obviously you can't see it from here, but I do have a few squares of about 1 inch size, 1/4 inch square, because it's a square. So 1 inch squares. I have 4 of them, actually 5 of them on the target. And what you're going to want to try to do is you want to place some shots. And obviously the more you place, the more obvious the positioning of your scope is going to be. So let's do some shooting and we will find out what it is right now. So this particular optic is nothing fancy. It's 0 to 12 times magnification, and I'm going to be shooting it in the top right square. Amateur hour. All right. All right, so here we go. Got the group, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do multiple shots, because inevitably you're gonna have some flukes like these two. This was me doing some really bad shooting, but this is the group, more or less aiming when I had a better trigger control. And you can see from here it's definitely to the left and potentially a little bit up. So you see the pattern, definitely to the left and a little bit up. So what we want to do now on the optic itself, we want to adjust, and this is where the fun part begins. You do have a variety of scopes. Some of them come with the MOA adjustment and some of them come in MRAD. The difference is really in the numbers. MOA, one MOA click is about 1 inch, just over an inch, really barely any, but it's 1 inch at 100 yards. So if you're shooting, if you do a 1 MOA click and you're shooting 100 yards, you have a difference of 1 inch if you're adjusting, depending on what you're adjusting, the elevation or the windage. Windage is left to the right, elevation is up and down. With MRAD or milliradian, you're adjusting 1 milliradian at 100 yards is 3.6 inches. And you see more often than not on higher end scopes used in milliradians is because most of the times you can adjust 0.1 with every click. 0.1 mrad or milliradian for every click. This scope is in MOA, and this one adjusts quarter of an MOA. So with every click at 100 yards is gonna make the difference of a quarter inch. I'm shooting at 50 meters, which is roughly about 50 yards. Let me actually Google. It's 54 yards. So very, very close. So as you've seen, I have about the group going about 2 inches to the left. So my windage needs to be adjusted to the right. If we're shooting 50 meters, in this case I'm shooting 50 meters, that's why I like adjusting at 50 meters, because it's not too crazy long, and whenever it comes to math, you can easily do the math. And this adjustment here is in quarters of MOA, which makes a quarter of an inch difference. So in order to make 2 inches difference for me, I have to go to the right. 2 inches, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 clicks. 8 clicks on the windage dial. So on the windage dial, and I don't know if you can see, you probably can see it. Depending on what kind of scope, what kind of optic you have, it's gonna tell you, or maybe not, on the dials themselves. But here it actually does tell you. It doesn't tell you how many MOAs it is, but it does say that at 1 click it is a quarter inch at 100 yards. Which means, because 1 MOA is 1 inch at 100 yards, it means it's a quarter of an MOA per click. So, because we're shooting to the left, well, I am shooting to the left, I need to shoot to the right, I'm gonna make 8 clicks to the right. Alright, and I was shooting about an inch up, so on my elevation dial, I'm gonna go 2 inches. So I gotta go about, I'll do 2 clicks right now, not too much, down. So we're gonna go, and the same thing on the elevation dial. And if you're adjusting the red dot, it's exactly the same thing. And a lot of times, this is one of the things that I wanted to mention in this video specifically, because for some reason I have not seen anybody mention it. As you can see right now, I'm pretty close. My group is pretty close. But a lot of times when you're shooting, especially 50 meters, it's not a significant distance, it's nothing crazy, but it's sufficient enough distance. If your optic is way off, then you're gonna notice it. And if you do have, 5 inches group away from the target, you do have a significant amount of scrolling to do. It's not a 1 click, 2 click, you're gonna be clicking. So keep that in mind. Because a lot of times, and that was me, that was my problem. I would shoot, I would do like 1 or 2 clicks to the right, I would shoot and it goes exactly the same spot. And I'm like, what's going on? So I do another 2 clicks. I shoot and it's exactly the same thing. So you do need to do, don't be too scared of scrolling through your dials. Alright, so let's do some shooting. This time I'm gonna try to aim at the bottom square on the right, and instead of shooting from the comfortable armchair, I'm gonna actually shoot from the proning position so that I can give myself better stability. If you have a bipod on your rifle, it makes this a lot easier. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna have my arm right here on the window so that it gives me a little bit more stability to avoid the flukes. Alright. Somebody get in. There we go. Oh yeah. All right, a lot better group right here. Now, as you can see, stability helps, but it looks like now this possibly is some flukes right here. It looks like the elevation I got pretty good, but now I'm shooting definitely to the right a little bit. So I think I'm gonna do a couple clicks, maybe 3 clicks to the left, and that should be good to go. All right, so I'll do 1, 2, 3 back to the left, and this time I'm gonna aim at the very, very top, the head. See if we can drop this thing a little bit. There you go. Okay. Perfect. Except forgot to put on ear protection. But the shot was perfect. Okay. Back to business. Amateur hour. All right, let's try to do a hosted shot. That's the orange circle. Oh yeah, baby, I got it. And we got a jam on the last round, I think. I had 7 rounds in it. Let's see. Ooh, there's one more. Let's see if I can flip the hosted. Make another hosted shot. Let's see what happened. All right, perfect time for a nice spring rain. So there you go. That is the 5 shots. That's the group that I'd like to see. This is the hosted shot number 1, and this is the hosted shot number 2. And that's really it. So hopefully this was helpful. God bless everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.